If you're interested to know how to buy Bitcoin and you're a beginner or you've never done so before, this video is going to help you out tremendously. Just like myself, when I was looking to buy Bitcoin way long ago, I was in search for the best and most secure, viable source to buy Bitcoin. But with so many different options out there and so many YouTubers and websites trying to promote other websites to buy Bitcoin just so they can earn a commission, well, what I'm going to tell you is that they have a means and a reason to go ahead and entice you to use the platform they're recommending. If you notice in this video, I don't have any affiliate links, I don't have any sponsors. This is what I suggest personally. But first thing is first, before I show you where to get it, I want to let you know how to properly secure your Bitcoins or whatever crypto you decide to get. And the reason being is because of the simple fact that if you leave it on an exchange or on a website, you're prone to hacks. Somebody can get your email and password and then just steal basically all of your money that you invested. So it's not a really good position to be in. So what I have here, and like I said, there's no sponsorships, but I'll tell you which one I prefer. It's called hardware wallets. Now what hardware wallets do is they allow you to actually put your cryptocurrency on a little, what seems to be USB stick, and you can store it anywhere, and that's where the cryptocurrency that you own will be. And then you can access it via your computer as well. You can access it really via any computer. And so here I have the Trezor, and here I have the Ledger. Now, at first I got the Ledger Nano X, and it worked it worked decently. And then one day I wanted to liquidate some of my positions really quickly, and it was throwing up a lot of errors on my computer. And it took me literally 1 to 2 hours just to move the crypto out after connecting it and reconnecting it over and over again. I personally got really scared because I thought I lost that crypto because it just wasn't working on my computer. So then I looked for another source and everyone told me to get a Trezor. So I got a Trezor, and what I will say is I absolutely love it. Now, before you go out there and buy one on Amazon or something like that, I do suggest going ahead and looking at trusted, reputable sources such as the actual source of the website. So when you go on Google and you go to look, let's just say you want to buy a Trezor, let's just go ahead and do Trezor, right? What you're going to do is you're not going to look at the sponsored ads. Whatever you do, please don't click on the ads. Go right to the actual website, trezor.io, and then you're going to be on the actual legitimate website. If you get it on Amazon, be careful. If you get it on other sources like eBay, be extremely careful. But I like to get mine directly from the sources. Now what I will say is that I got my Ledger from Amazon and it was perfectly fine because the vendor was the actual vendor who makes it. And I also checked the box on the bottom. It should say made in France. If it says made in China, that's a really bad sign. So keep that in mind. Trezor as well. Trezor made in EU, not made in China. Really good. So those were indicators that I look for. But these are really important to basically cold store your cryptocurrency once you purchase them to keep it really safe from hackers or any malicious attempts to try to get your crypto. Next, let's actually talk about where you can get crypto. So the very first source, you can use Coinbase, you can use Uphold, you can use Exodus, and Exodus is a downloadable wallet. So it allows you to go ahead and have a wallet here and harbor your cryptocurrency. You can send and receive. But if you also have the mobile application that works with your computer, it lets you link it up, you're able to go ahead and just with Apple Pay, if you have an iPhone, you can actually buy up to $500 of cryptocurrency. And I think that's every 24 hours, but I might be mistaken. I've only used it a few times. So Exodus is a wallet, but you can also purchase cryptocurrency on your phone. Uphold, an application, you can buy cryptocurrency up to $500 a day with credit card on your phone. And then Coinbase, you can use it on your computer. It's the most trusted in my opinion. And they have a really good, well, I don't want to say they have really good support. They have decent support. But then you've also heard of places like Binance and Binance US for those of us that are in the United States. So Binance US is great. However, what I will say and what I will admit is that I had one particular friend who never he submitted a $40-something thousand wire transfer. And Binance said that they sent proof, and he never received it into his bank account. So after that, I never really trusted Binance that much again. I like them as an exchange. I just don't trust them receiving and withdrawing funds. So I'll go ahead and use something like Coinbase that processes relatively fast. And just so you know, when I go ahead and I purchase my crypto, I typically don't use a credit card. I'll go ahead and send a wire transfer in because of the amounts that I'm sending. And when I send it into Coinbase, it typically processes within a day, and I use a certain private bank in order to go ahead and send my wire transfers. So I personally like Coinbase, but I've also, on my phone, I have used Uphold, I have used Exodus, I have used, let's see, I have MetaMask on here, Binance as well, but I haven't purchased on Binance. Crypto.com, I've purchased with Crypto.com on my phone, and it's worked very flawlessly. But like I said, I don't keep my cryptocurrency on these platforms. I use them as exchanges. So again, Coinbase, if you go to pro.coinbase.com, you can use that as an exchange, as like a marketplace, right? Binance, also an exchange. Crypto.com, an exchange. And then what I do is I get my crypto and I send it to my wallet. Very important that you go ahead and you safeguard your crypto. I can't enforce that enough. So now the question becomes, when is a good time to buy? And with that question stems other questions, such as what's your goal? Are you looking to hold long term? Or maybe you want to swing trade this for a few weeks. Maybe you just want to make a few hundred, maybe a few $1,000s, right? Depending on how the market looks. So you need to define your goal first. Myself personally, I want to hold long term when it comes to assets like Bitcoin. So one thing you need to understand is Bitcoin's purpose, to break it down simply, is to maintain and retain its value. It's a store of value, much like gold. And that's why we always see the comparisons, Bitcoin to gold. Now, if you understand that, then investing in something like Bitcoin is a lot safer than investing into something, let's just say, like Cardano, which is an altcoin, or Polkadot, or let's just say Litecoin. So all these are altcoins in comparison to something that, it has actual projects being built on it, and Bitcoin is more so a store of value, like gold. So if you buy gold, if you buy a gold bar, for example, yes, you can melt it down and make jewelry, but that gold bar has its own value, for resale. So Bitcoin is a store of value. If you just buy Bitcoin and hold it, theoretically, it's supposed to go up in value. Can you do stuff with that Bitcoin, like transact and buy stuff? Sure, of course. But you need to define your goal and what you want to do. If you want to see astronomical gains, altcoins is pretty much where all the astronomical gains happen. We could see something like Cardano. And just so you know, you can buy Cardano on Coinbase as well. And majority of the platforms that I've mentioned, except Exodus. Exodus only lets you buy Ethereum and Bitcoin with your Apple Pay. So just keep that in mind. But if you go to a website like coinmarketcap.com, you can see all the top cryptocurrencies. And if you click on one and you scroll down, you can see, and if you write down here, you could see, let me just go back and show you this, like Cardano. If I click on Cardano, and what I do is I scroll down, and right over here, Cardano Markets, I can see it's on Binance, Coinbase Pro, right? KuCoin. So these are the locations that I can go ahead and purchase Cardano. Now you'll notice that some of these altcoins don't have the ability to purchase on main exchanges. So you'd have to use decentralized exchanges, which is known as something like Uniswap or PancakeSwap. But that's for a different video. If you're investing in those type of coins, those different type of altcoins and those type of projects, there's a lot more that you need to know, such as what the project's meant to do, what it's trying to accomplish, the team, the founder, his vision, the vision of the team. There's so many things you need to understand before you invest into an altcoin like that. But if you're just trying to get into Bitcoin, you can go ahead and literally use the sources that I told you. Now, if your goal is to hold long term, what you can do is you can buy market. So buying market isn't necessarily the smartest thing to do unless you're decently positioned in life with a nice amount of money already and you're willing to hold. Now, what individuals that don't have an astronomical bank account, an expendable bank account, like to go ahead and do is known as DCA, or dollar cost average. So you might spend $100 when Bitcoin is at 37,000, then another $100 at 36,000. So you have $200, but two different price points that you bought in at. So if you spent it at 37 and 36, that means your average of your $200 means that you purchased Bitcoin at an average of $36,500, and it keeps averaging. So you average your way down, and that's really the smart way to do it. But again, you have to make sure that you're evenly distributing whatever you go ahead and you have saved to the side. Now, one story that I love, and shout out to my dad, he's somebody that has done this extremely successfully. He takes portions of his paychecks, probably, theoretically, I think, maybe. I have to say, I think maybe for tax reasons, maybe. Theoretically, he might take portions of his paycheck and dollar cost average in the market purchase, whatever it is at the time, and just hold it there as a store of value. And he holds two things, theoretically, Bitcoin and Ethereum, if he were to hold two things. And over time, it's gone up with price. So theoretically, he's been doing it for years. And so the investment has just grown astronomically. If we just take a look at the chart, we can see that if he's been doing it theoretically for the last 5 years, we can see since 2015, right back here, or let's just say 2017, so around a few $1,000s per coin. And again, you don't need to buy one coin for 8,000, 20,000, 50,000. You can buy fractions of coins for $100, $200, and hold it in your wallet. And so if you just dollar cost average your way in, really dollar cost average your way into any coin, then you're gonna be in a very good position when we're in markets like this. If you see right over here, you see this massive dip, this is a perfect time to buy. When markets are down, when people are scared, is when you want to buy. As a matter of fact, one indicator that you can look at is the greed and fear index of Bitcoin. So this is such a good indicator. Look at this. Right here, extreme fear. People are extremely scared. So what does that mean? Well, when people are extremely scared, it's a perfect time for you to purchase. Because again, people are more than likely panic selling and getting out, which means that everything becomes discounted for you. But a lot of times, psychologically, there's a barrier that won't let you go ahead and proceed because you think it's gonna keep on going down. But if you believe in an asset just like I do, like Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market in general, and you believe that it's just going to go up, then right now would be a perfect time to start accumulating while everybody else is fearful. And for the record, we've seen dips in the past like this. So when you're experiencing a dip, you never want to have what's known as paper hands. You never want to just sell because you're scared and everybody else is selling. You're already in the position. The only time you're actually going to lose money is when you sell. Yes, the value might be way lower than what you purchased when you got in, but guess what? You technically didn't lose anything if you didn't sell. So we can see that at the top of the market back in 2017, we're at 16,000. And then about a year later, it's at 3,000. Now that's pretty scary, right? People saying this is over. However, we keep on going. Next thing you know, a few months later, we're at 12,000, then back down to 5,000. What do we have here? 37,000. Then we have a dip to 30. Then we see a parabolic movement all the way up to 62. What do we have here? We're at 37. Do you see the pattern here? These are known as corrections, and corrections are healthy for the market. And as a retail investor, you can't be scared of corrections. You simply cannot be scared. The best strategy, and one that I follow, invest and walk away. If you look at the charts every 20 minutes, you're gonna lose money, period. And if you are constantly getting in and out of a position because you're trying to chase the next best thing that's possibly going to make you money overnight, you're not gonna win. You just simply won't win. Fees will eat you up, and not only that, you have to guess right 100% of the time. So rather than investing to try and become an overnight billionaire, how about you invest for the long term if you believe in cryptocurrency? And that would be the best strategy. And that's one that I've also followed. Now here's the other thing, is that if you're going to be investing in speculative plays, which I personally love to invest in. Here's a great example of a highly speculative play that I like to invest in. It has a market cap of $21 million. Now 21 million is nothing in a market that's close to $2 trillion, right? And so what exactly does this mean? The price is down so bad because everything is pretty much crashing right now, right? But it's currently what I like to consider on sale. Now, why do I invest in speculative plays? Because speculative plays are the ones that typically turn out the best. But how exactly do I do my investments in speculative plays, and where do I get them? Well, like I said, you can't just go on Coinbase and grab it. You need to use something like Uniswap, and that's for a whole different video. But back to why I like speculative plays is because if we take a look at something like Blank, where yes, it's at 93 cents right now, but if we take a look over time, it's hit a peak of like $4 or $5, okay? But I like to look at the team, what they're trying to build, the use case, and more than anything, I'm investing in the founder and the team because that is where the project will end up, either being massive or a failure. Because if at the end of the day, if you look at this like you're a venture capitalist, you have to consider that you're investing into people. And yes, the project needs to have foundation and it needs to be good, but you're essentially investing in a person or a team of people that you believe are going to achieve incredible things. Now let's take a look at an example that I love. And Chainlink, you can actually get on Coinbase and whatnot. And I recently just purchased a massive amount of Chainlink as well because I believe it's highly discounted. So if we take a look at Chainlink, look at this. If you were to get it in 2019, it was at $1, $2, right? $1, $2, $3. Where did it peak over here? $4 in 2019. Well, where did it peak this year? It peaked around $50. So imagine in 2019, getting it for 80 cents, heck, even if you got it for 50 cents and you held it for 2 years, and even now you're still in profit, even with the market turning and becoming very fearful, you're still in profit and you're in a very nice amount of profit. It took 2 years, but it played out very well. Now, why did something like this work so well? Well, simply put, because the team is astronomical and the project has a real use case. Every single, and I'm not gonna get too deep into this because this is a whole other video in itself, but majority of the DeFi, decentralized financial projects that are in existence right now need what's known as an oracle. And Chainlink is the grandfather, is the OG of all oracles. And so an oracle basically processes data from the offline world and online world, and it goes ahead and transmutes it to the project that needs that data. So again, like I said, there's a lot that goes into this. I'm just explaining why it has a good use case, a good team, and a lot of projects and a lot of other cryptos need it. So yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. When we see a really good project over time, it evolves. You need to take a different mindset and a different approach. Now I want to end this video right here. Yes, this is how you can go ahead and acquire cryptocurrency and how to store it safely. But I also filled you in on how you can go out there and properly invest if you wanted to do speculative plays like these altcoins and what you need to consider. But you also need to adopt a very, very important mindset. The mindset is that if you do invest into more speculative plays, not like Bitcoin, not like Ethereum, not like the top 10 coins or 15 coins, if you invest in something like I just showed you before, like Blank, that I have a very big position in, you need to understand that the mindset is you basically become a venture capitalist. You need to grasp that your money might not ever see a return, but if it will see a return, it's going to see exponential returns. But how do you know if something will see exponential returns? What makes your chances greater is by communicating, communicating with the team, understanding what they're trying to accomplish, and seeing if there's a massive need in the market and if there's a really good use case. So again, how you get Bitcoin, I explained, and how you can actually get your hands on these other speculative plays, that is a whole other video in itself. And by the way, if you're interested in Dogecoin and Shiba and coins like that, well, good luck to you. Hope you find everything that you needed. Catch you soon. Oh, by the way, do me a favor, subscribe if you haven't, if you like this video, and shoot me a thumbs up. It would really help the algorithm. Have a fantastic day. Be safe, and I'll catch you soon.